Reading from Push Square, they say the DualSense Edge, Sony's official Pro controller for the PS5, hits store shelves today, and it's already being dragged online for its downscaled battery. As reported by Buds Controllers on Twitter, the premium pad, which retails for $200 actually has a smaller battery than the standard DualSense. Now, smaller batteries don't always mean a shorter battery life. It all depends on what kind of battery we're talking about and how it's utilized. But freshly published DualSense Edge reviews suggest that this controller doesn't last long when you're unplugged. The standard DualSense has already faced a lot of criticism for its own relatively short battery life. On average, a full charge will result in about 8 hours of use, give or take, but this total can decrease quite dramatically depending on how a game utilizes the control's features, such as haptic feedback. The issue then is that the DualSense Edge is averaging roughly 6 hours of use right off the bat. This is what we found in our own DualSense Edge hardware review, and it matches up with what we're hearing from others. So basically, what we've got here is an expensive controller that boasts a shorter battery life than its standard counterpart, and that's a kicker as far as marketing goes. The DualSense Edge is clearly aimed at enthusiasts, but it's kind of a surface-level disappointment that might put a lot of curious onlookers off the product. So, yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing with the DualSense Edge. The reviews are out, and this seems to be like the big issue here. In general, I'd say that a $200 controller for most people is just already like, no thanks, way too much for a controller. But for enthusiasts, it's one of these things where, yeah, I can understand how hearing like 6 hours of battery life, it really, I think, will make a person take a step back and really think about whether or not they're okay with that. But the good news is the controller itself is amazing. All of the reviews that I've been reading and watching are saying that, yeah, this is easily like the best controller Sony's ever made. It's just a shame that it has to have such a small and short battery life, especially when you compare it to the competition. You know, these other premium controllers, they completely destroy the DualSense Edge here in their battery life. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, and, you know, it is what it is. So at this point, I'm just kind of curious to see what you guys think. You know, is there anybody who's planning on getting the DualSense Edge and you just simply don't care about the battery life, or were you thinking about it and now that you're hearing it lasts about 6 to 8 hours, it's not really something you're going to consider now? I'm curious to see what you guys have to say.